My name is Ramesh Reddy from Civil 6th semester. My name is Karshaka. Today we are going to discuss about rainfall measurement. There are really two types of rain gauges to measure rainfall. First is recording type of rain gauge and second one is non-recording type.
Daksh shared about two types of recording. I'm gonna talk about non-recording. Rainfall may be measured by a network of rain gauges which may either be of non-recording or recording type. The non-recording rain gauges used in India is the Siemens rain gauge. It consists of a funnel with the circular rim of 12.7 centimeter dia and a glass bottle as a receiver. The cylindrical metal casing is fixed vertically to the masonry foundation with the level rim 30.5 centimeter above the ground surface. The rain falling into the funnel is collected in the receiver and is measured in the special measuring glass graduated in mm of rainfall. Thank you.
In figure, we can see the Siemens rain gauge, which is a non-recording type of rain gauge.
Let's study the parts of non-recording rain gauge. Non-recording rain gauge consists of a collector and a funnel with a polythene bottle. The polythene bottle can be 2 liters, 4 liters or 10 liters. There is a concrete foundation base and the dimensions are as shown here. These dimensions are as per IS 5225 1992, reaffirmed in 2003. Now let's calculate the capacity of rain gauge. That is how much rain it can store. The collector area, which is 200 centimeters square. This is the collector, and you can see, and this is the area here. We can keep bottle capacity 2 liter, 4 liter, 10 liter. Let's assume this bottle is of 2 liters. How much rainfall it can store. So that we can calculate if we divide this 2 liters divided by 200 centimeters square. So it will give depth of the rainfall which the gauge can store. We know 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube. Convert this 2 liters into 2000 centimeter cube divided by 200 centimeters square, which will give 10 centimeters of rainfall. So this rain gauge with collector area of 200 centimeters square and the bottle capacity of 2 liter can store 24-hour rainfall of 10 centimeter. Now similarly, this you can see, this is I have calculated for 2 liters, but you can calculate for 4 liters and with different collector areas. So this is the normal capacity of rain gauge in centimeters of rain. How do we measure rainfall? So a man comes daily at 8:30 a.m. He opens the rain gauge, takes out the bottle and then jar along and then measure the rainfall, whatever rainfall in past 24 hours, measures with this jar and then he records it. If rainfall is likely to exceed the capacity of the bottle, then 2 or 3 intermediate reading can be taken and their sum has to be recorded as rainfall of past 24 hours. Thank you very much.
Recording rain gauge, self-recording, automatic and integrating rain gauge is an automatic mechanical arrangement consisting of a clockwork drum with a graph paper fixed around it and a pencil point, which draws the mass curve of rainfall. From this mass curve, the depth of the rainfall in a given time, the rate of intensity of rainfall at any instant during a storm, time of onset or the cessation of rainfall can be determined. There are 3 types of recording rain gauges: tipping bucket gauge, weighing gauge and float gauge. The self-recording rain gauge is generally used in conjunction with an ordinary rain gauge exposed close by for standard. Float type rain gauge is usually used by an Indian Meteorological Department, which is generally used as a IMD, as shown in a figure 3.0. It consists of the cylinder with a funnel top, circular inner brass tube and recording mechanism of clock-driven drum carrying the record sheet on which a pen. When the float chamber fills up, the water siphons out automatically through siphon tube kept in interconnect siphon chamber. For different duration of the storms, the clock box revolves the drum once in 24 hours. The clock mechanism needs rewiring once in a week when the chart wrapped around the drum is also replaced.
In this picture, we can see the rain gauge, which is recording type of rain gauge, which automatically measures the rainfall.
Gauge. It's a recording rain gauge. It consists of a rotating drum. It completes one rotation in 24 hours. This type of rain gauge is also known as float type rain gauge. Rain entering the gauge is led to the float chamber through a funnel. A pen is attached to the float through a lever system. It records the elevation of the float on a graph which is pasted on a rotating drum. The drum is driven by a clockwork mechanism. In case there is no rainfall, pen moves horizontally on the graph paper. When the rain enters the gauge, the float rises. Since the pen is attached to the float, therefore it also rises with the float and records rain on the graph paper. In case rainfall stops in between, pen again start moving horizontally. When again rain starts, pen will start moving upwards. When pen reaches the top of the graph paper, a symphonic action empties the float chamber. The pen comes to the bottom of the graph and it again rises if rain continues.